Hello everyone, good evening. Today is October 11, another episode of Ripster Daily Recap and Daily Teachings. Amazing day guys, another successful day, not because of what we do usually. Of course, there were a couple of losers at open. We had nice win on Boeing, big all day win on Adobe, a short on Zoom. We had a little loss on Kava. And then we had end of the day reversals after FOMC minutes. I will show you how Nvidia and Amazon reversals worked for us. Long 52-week Lilly 52-week breakout, Meta and Lilly was actually all-time high breakout. Meta and Google were 52-week breakout. We'll talk about those setups, but especially we'll talk about low floats today. We'll talk about how to trade these mega movers. Today's big mover that we played from $2 to almost $8 in the market hours, and how we played it, right? It was, the stock is up 4,000% at the close, and now it's giving up some after hours. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what was the setup, how we traded it. We traded a bunch of other penny stocks that we'll talk about today. So second half of this call will be about the penny stocks, if you're, the big wins. So we just go where the momentum is. The system works everywhere, right? I mostly stay with large caps, but when I see a good setup, we take it because the returns are good, the profit is good. Of course, you have to manage your risk better, but they really pay well. So we'll talk about that, the mega winner in the community today. And we'll talk about the reversal, our usual VIX strategy. But let's start the day with our morning winners and our morning trades. As always, guys, I trade. My rules are simple. I fix system, fix strategy, and as you see, every day we kill it, right? In our community, my followers on Twitter, my kind followers, you guys on YouTube. So we do the same thing, and we take our profits, first move into 10 a.m. then we watch for all day trades, and then we watch for some midday setups or end of the day setups. Today FOMC was there, so we had some chop, but we were in the direction, we were in the right direction. We were never stuck where we didn't know what to do, and as always my guidance was there all day. So let's look at, guys, how we had this big, nice, profitable day. All right, guys, as always, every day we wake up 1 hour before the market opens, get ready with our market preparation. Morning's wake up summary for everybody. We look at what market is doing, what S&P is doing, what are the futures doing, what are the key news out of the market in the morning. So we look at all that. So here you see that was our morning wake up summary. We do it every day. We look at what's happening, what are the key factors driving the futures market. Anything from the macro politics, treasury, what is happening in China. So China was on watch list because China said they have new stimulus measures coming in. So China was on watch list because of that. And there was a bunch of other news we watch before we go into our pre-market movers. So as we move forward, we look at other pre-market movers. As always, pre-market movers 1. Then we look at more pre-market movers. ExxonMobil was on the top, Walgreens, DVA, Boeing, Kava Group, bunch of the names. Netflix had some Morgan Stanley upgrade. Nvidia had some upgrade from Citibank. So we just go through everything, right? Again, Amazon, Morgan Stanley, and then I go through everything, and then I make my list, what goes into my watch list. Before I do it every day, I create these levels, pivot points, support points, resistance pivots. Most of the times they work flawlessly. It's not that rocket science. It's just support and resistance works. So a lot of my followers or my people in community, they just take it and they just do their own trades. So you can take a screenshot if you want to work on the levels, go back, see how these levels worked. Most of them were really good. If you look at Netflix, when it broke this support pivot in 372, 369, it faded all day. So something you can work with. So anyways, So after that, my watch list was ready, guys. This was my watch list. So our watch list had a Plug, NVO, Kava, Boeing, Netflix, J&J, Match, Lilly, Zoom, Adobe, and you. And most of the names I played today from the news plays. I didn't touch Plug, didn't give me a setup, but Kava was a loser. Boeing was a winner. Initial trade, also a swing overnight. Netflix, I didn't touch it, but some people shorted it later in the day. Lilly was a big winner. Adobe was a winner. You was a good trade in the morning. We'll talk about it. China names, we were watching Baba and PDD and Fudu specific. So Futu was a good winner in the community on Futu, and then we had our market indicators, market plays. We'll talk about those. Microsoft was a scratch, a loser trade right at open, and I guided all on the marketplace. So that was our watch list for the day, guys. So and the plan was simple on the VIX. If VIX holds 17, big resistance. If VIX holds that, then we will be bearish, right? And if it bounces from that 1650, then we will be bearish. And that's what happened. The VIX moved from 1650 into FOMC. The market was going down, and then when VIX faded, we traded the reversals in the room, right? So yes, there was a plan. We were ready for Plug, we were ready for Kava. Netflix was still heavy. Zoom was bearish. Adobe was long versus 533. Let's go by one quickly and look at all the trades. Let's start with our loser. See what the Kava did. So Kava, not taking too long of the time, we were long Kava. I was long Kava right at open. But here's the thing, if the first candle is not showing me strength, right, the opening price gives up, that's the signal to get out. So I did Kava for the pre-market breakout. I was in the money, I was profitable for a bit, but then it pulled back. It did not hold. It broke under the opening price, lower highs, lower lows, and I was out in 10 minutes. As you see, I was out in 10 minutes, $1 a share loss, nothing to do, we moved away. So then let's look at Boeing. So what did we do in Boeing? Okay, so Boeing was a winner right at open. Win was on top of Boeing this morning. Boeing got a PT upgrade from UBS, and so he was on it, and I was already swinging Boeing, and my target was today on the Boeing was $200 at the open. Whoever was swinging was whoever was swinging with me was already in, and the rest of us were on Boeing, trying to trade it, right? You can see here my instructions on Boeing. 200 was my target right from the morning. 198 hit, then 200 hit, we locked our profits, then it pulled back. Still have some Boeing, it was going for our 200 target all day guidance right here, you can see. And then it broke 512 right here. That was my warning. That's breaking 512, and then look at it what it did from 512. In the hindsight, it was a good short versus 200 B minus against the trend short. But you can always short these B minus against 300, 100, 200. Those are psychological levels, like I always teach. So you can always short them, and they sometimes work. In hindsight, Boeing was a good when we took the profits around 200. We don't took all the profits around 200. I was waiting for 200, but by the time it broke the trend, you can see the time-stamped comments, we were out, right? And that time we could have shorted it as well versus that 200. So right, so that was Boeing. Let's look at our Adobe trade right now, guys. Here you go, Adobe, all the comments, and you do not see a lot of these things because I'm on voice all day. I'm talking about those levels, the guidance. I just put a lot of stuff in chat so that some people are not listening to me, and also, of course, I journal my trades. I want to see what is working, what is not working, right? So anyways, so if you see, Adobe was upgrade, long was versus 533. I told people to watch the pullbacks. My target was 550. We got $12. You see, it is over the yesterday's highs. So Adobe was over yesterday highs, right? So that is the key. When you long here, there's resistance can become support. You can risk that. Initial risk was 533, but when it breaks over that point, you can risk yesterday's highs. And then, it held. Look at the candles. They held. They never made any, lower high. They were holding. So they were holding 512 Ripster EMA Clouds, and that was $12 a share. By the time it hit 550 calls went like 50%, right? So that was Adobe, guys. Beautiful trade on Adobe. So let's look at another trade we did. Zoom. Okay, here you go. What did I say on Zoom before the market opened? Whenever, learn this, whenever there is a buyout, the company who's buying it, it usually fades, especially if they're spending billions of dollars, because investors know they're losing, that's the money going out of the profit or going out of the earnings. So that's why you usually see the fade, and that's why we were shorted. I clearly said shorted on the bounces, shorted, right? Shorted on the bounces, and nice fade from the pre-market high resistance and under pre-market low break, and we faded to 105. Decent move. 105 puts moved 60%. Another successful trade. You have to size small, and you have to long hold as long as 512 Ripster EMA Clouds hold. Trade with the system, guys. Just stick with the system. That's what I've been showing for years. Okay, so Zoom was nice win, guys. Now let's look at our loser on Microsoft. Not a big loser there. So I was long Microsoft right at open. My risk was 330. I did exit before the risk because I didn't like the action. I didn't want to wait because market was pulling back. So I right at open, long wicks at 331.30 area, and then it pushed to 332. But there was not enough move, there was not enough risk reward to take any profit, and then when it was pulling back, I took it out, maybe a 30, 40, 50 cents loss. I took it out, even though it bounced from 330s, EMA Clouds, but I was not interested in that trade. So that was a scratch trade, guys. All right, so let's look at what else we did. Plug, I was interested, but I never took a trade, because when I see something weak right at open and not making any lower high, higher high, I know it's not going to work, right? Look at Plug, pulled back. I did not take a position, even though my levels I gave were 750 or 720. It did bounce from 750, right? Did bounce like 30 cents. Then it came back. It was making lower highs. I didn't like it, so I never touched it. And also the folks in my community, I was on the voice guiding them. So even if somebody touched it, they did not lose much, and it was fine. All right, let's look at another trade. You gave a nice trade at open. You had some news, I don't remember, but it was on a watch list. Everything was on our watch list, guys. Everything is on a watch list, mostly, unless it comes on scanner and I take it. So everything is on a watch list. What did you do? Right at open, we longed you versus 30 risk. You touched 31. That was our profit taking at 10 a.m. Easy peasy trade, easy scalp into 10 a.m. Nothing to get too excited about. Daily is still bearish. Always look at daily when you take these trades. If you do not look at daily, then you can see there's a resistance at daily clearly, right? So we'll revisit tomorrow. I mean, it can be a good swing as well. I like you. I will follow it as well. So we'll keep eyes on you. Okay, let's look at what was next. Okay, next was too many trades today, guys. Futu. Okay, Futu was the China play. I was on the voice. I told everyone Futu is strong. Right at open, Futu was strong. Futu gave us almost $3. Right, so right at open, both good, but do not chase big sizes. I was on the voice about Futu, and it made a target was 68. Nah, we didn't meet 68. We touched 67.50, and you can see it was right at open. Right, there was enough time. If I go to, if you want me to go to, let's say we go to 5-minute candle. We can go to 5-minute candle, right? So first 5-minute candle and next 5-minute candle making higher, getting over the first 5-minute candle. So there was still some move to trade in the open on Futu for a nice little trade. No big size, because when you chase, you have to do small size. And I was doing the same thing that I did on Kava. Higher over pre-market highs, that's why I long it. And China news was there. It was on watch list. We were ready about the China news before the market opened, guys. So that was beautiful, guys. There's another trade, very small size today. I don't even know how many trades we did today. So NVO all day, guys. So NVO trade which came in later in the day, right? So NVO pulled back, that's fine. NVO pulled back. Then later in the day, I said push versus EMA Clouds, and the price alert. I had a price alert here at 97 break. You can clearly see the 97 break. From 97, My target was 100, and we did meet the 100 target after hours. And I talked about it, that how NVO can keep pushing, because it's, you know, it's a bio, and it's had some good news and all that. So nice squeeze in after hours on NVO. We were all out by 99. I don't know if somebody held it overnight or not, but that, guys, was a successful midday trade on NVO. Alright guys, so now that we had covered NVO, I think it's time to move to our midday calls on FOMC. So everybody knows FOMC was coming, right? So FOMC was coming, so we were ready. So what happened to the market? Let's see. So market was gapping up, you know, there was PPI numbers and all that. Market was gapping up, but look here, important concept. QQQ rejected from yesterday highs. Yesterday highs, guys, very important concept. I teach it every day, and then it faded. SPY, then it faded. And if you see my comments, we were right on top of it. Many people were short SPY, they were trading SPY short. I was clearly saying what SPY is doing, right? So I was, if you go in my morning, you know, so anyways, if I go in the morning, everybody, we were, you know, I didn't take any trade on SPY, but I was guiding that downside, Q, downside. I was telling nobody to not long anything. And then finally FOMC hit, right? So once the FOMC was out of the way, by the way, Netflix is breaking that key level, you know, this breakout price alert, it's coming down. So okay, here was FOMC. As soon as FOMC comes, what did I say? VIX has to break 17 for bullish buys. VIX has to break 17 for bullish buys. So what did the VIX do? Broke 17. Look at the reversal. This is called reversal trade. Reversal over 512, reversal over 512, reversal over 3450. And what were the names we were looking at for reversal? When the market is moving, so don't be blind. Look at the market, look at the individual names when you're trying to long them. So let's see what was, okay, let's see. Okay, NVIDIA. So I said NVIDIA, good curl over there. Let's look at my commentary on NVIDIA later in the day. We're going to focus later in the day. Okay, here you go. So, so even in the morning, my comments were simple. 461 was the key area, and you see that's the area it held from pre-markets, right? And then it was needs to break for next leg 465. 465 has to break. And then that was the reversal I was talking about on the OS. You see it was reversing and bounced with the market. Nice, and told everybody to take calls of HOD. You know, swinging some NVIDIA, we'll see what happens. And then I talked about Amazon. I said good scalps if QQ pushes, right? And it's not just my comments here. I was on voice as well. So there was a good scalp as well. We tried scalping Tesla. That kind of didn't work. It was still weak. You know, we tried to trade it. I'll show you where we did try to trade it. So I was like 263 needs to hold at 224. And even look at Tesla, rejected from yesterday highs. So important, guys, so important, okay? So now we tried to bounce Tesla, but it didn't do much, so we exited. But Amazon kind of worked out. And what was Meta doing? I showed you Meta. Meta is 52-week breakout, right? So, you know, reversal for EMA Clouds right here, guys. Reversal from EMA Clouds. Reversal from EMA Clouds. Here you go. Reversal from EMA Clouds. And here's Google. Reversal from 3450 EMA Clouds. Reversal from 3450 EMA Clouds. So you can see all those reversals happening here, guys, right? So let's see. Okay, yeah, and then they get over EMA Clouds. So just wanted to show you these midday reversals, guys, how they work, how the EMA Clouds work, right? Oh, I didn't even see Apple. That was a big push into the close. Would have been good for the our trades. Not bad. So yeah, so that was it, guys. So now let's see. Okay, yeah. All right, guys, that was for all our, you know, morning trades, midday calls. You can see, and here's you can see how the VIX strategy works, right? VIX rejection that talk about all the time. Look at my previous videos and how the bounced. Okay guys, time to look at our mega play of the day, TPST. Okay, so here we go. So TPST. So what was the story about TPST? So TPST had some news. It was a 25-cent stock yesterday. By time this morning, it was a $2 stock, right? Almost what, 800% up. And amateur trader will think, oh, it's too high, man. It's gonna go back. It's gonna go back. That's not how small floats work. Because guess what? Everybody is trying to short it since yesterday. Short. Because they think it's going back to 25 cents, right? But once they get over one psychological level, that is big. That is big, okay? So if I show you all the price alerts I had on TPST, so TPST was on watch list, right? If it holds the trend, we will long. And William, our small cap expert trader, he was guiding on it. And then once it held 2, I was on the voice. I said you can risk the 2, and you can trade it. You will find a lot of so it was all about TPST in our community. You know, these are my bots telling us about TPST hold and everything. So William was on top of TPST since the start of the day, you know, and I was watching TPST, and then you can see my comments up here on TPST. Then what I talked about was 2 level on TPST. The 2 was important because everybody is trying to short it, and once it fades, once it faded in the morning back to 2, they are thinking, oh, it's done. So shorts get comfortable. They are not following any trend system. They don't care. They just think it's too high. We follow the trend system. We know that 2 cycle level is holding, and it works for all the parabolic movers, guys. If they try to hold, think like a short. And trust me, there are a lot of people shorting it. Their entire chat rooms, entire groups, all they do is find tops, and they do pretty good because most of the pennies do go back. So because everybody is thinking it's going to come down, right? It's going to come down, and they try to short it. But look at the 2 psychological level. Held, right? And when it held, I said it should push to 3 because of the 2 level. That is your risk. And it met 3, right? Our 3 target met. Then I said if it holds 3, then it's 320, 370, 420, 4 levels, 470 was another level we were watching, and then 5. And it's not a magic because I know, I can see the tape, I know the shorts are stuck. Because the thing is, every dip, shorts try to get out. And then they try to get out, the stock moves higher. They try to cover and buy, it moves higher. And then more buyers come in, the stock moves higher. And this thing keeps going on until all the shorts are exhausted, right? This morning there were many shorts from yesterday, and then some more shorts added this morning at 250 morning rejection. And then they are thinking, yeah, maybe how high it can go. They maybe risk at $3, you know, the whole numbers. And then they get, okay, you know, maybe they go more. So they try to get out. They're already in loss. It's not about how many shorts were there before. If you see the volume, and you see all my guidance, right? Live guidance there. So if you see the volume traded today was 172 million. That's 11,000%. Their average volume, it trades 1 million. So if it only has 10 million shares, imagine how many times this 10 million shares changed hands. And imagine how many are shorts or naked shorts. So there is so much demand. Supply is just 10 million, and there's so much demand. When demand gets so many times supply, that's when you see these parabolic movers. Nothing is too high, guys. And you know, and it keeps pushing. Then I said 5 is a psychological level, right? I even posted, you know, I tweeted about it. If you see my tweets or posts, I was talking about the 10 level, right? So let me show you that. Let me see if I can show you. So if you see, I was talking about 10 target coming, and that was before I was talking about more squeeze because it broke out of 5. back over 5 psych level. That's what I was saying. All shorts are getting squeezed. It will only fail when all shorts get exhausted. And you can see it's before and after, guys. And it's not the first time I'm doing it. Of course, I've been on the other side of these shorts. I was talking about my 7-figure losses that I had on these. No more. I don't do that stuff because I learned my lessons. I stay long. So look at it, 10 psych, and we did get 10 psych, right? So we hit more than 10 psych. Parabolic movers all the way from $3, and nobody holds all the way. If you have 1,000 shares, and other thing is on these stocks, you cannot have stops like 20-30 cents. If you are adding at 3, you have to have a $1.50 stop, because that is these things can dip to 2 and rip back again. Small size, risk $1 or $2 to make $2 or $3. That's how it works. You can't risk 30 cents to make 30 cents on these stocks. No, because spread is big, they move crazy. You need to know how to play them. First of all, a new trader should never play them. If you want to learn, play with them, come to my community. I'm happy to teach you and show you how these work. And I have lot. If you want to go, you can go to my website. I'm going to show you. So if you go to my website, these are all the small cap trades that I have traded. I have alerted, traded live. You can see all my small cap trades right there. So you can see them, right? So they learn them, go see, and there's nothing different to what happened in TPST today. They're all similar, right? So that is the concept, guys. That is now after hours, most of the shorts got squeezed out. They took their losses and they went out, and then that happens is the sellers, they go home. That's why you see the dip, but it's still in the trend. It can still squeeze. If it doesn't break a key level, the shorts are still there. Some are still there, or some added. So they get out, and then it starts failing. They think, oh, it's failing. They add back, and if it doesn't fail, guess what? It's gonna squeeze again. So it's all about the trend. It's 10-minute EMA trend is holding. When this breaks, that's the backside, and you wait for that. So guys, that was TPST, right? Big trade for everyone. It's about risk management. I'm proud of my teachings because how they work. And then MTNB was another penny that we traded off it, because MTNB was going. Then this was sympathy play, because once a penny goes, then other pennies goes, and then there are other folks who are trading FIOs. FIO, it went up there. But never get married to these names. Momo in, Momo out. Yeah. So anyways, guys, this was the class on the low floats. Go to my website. The link is up there. Study more about low floats. Understand them. They have good risk reward. If once you get to know how to play them, and you can often ride these 200, 300, 400, 500% movers. If you want to learn more, join my community. Come ask questions with me, trade with me. Always there to help. I'll post a discount link there for you guys. Not an alert service. It's a private community. Feel free to join. Follow me on Twitter. Share my YouTube. Hopefully more people can learn from my teachings. All right, guys. Thank you for staying put with me for half an hour. And hopefully you learned something today. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.